Econ. Bale! Vile Bale! Oh, terror incarnate! There is life in me yet! I will soon feast upon your heart! Mark my words! You too shall know fear!
I feel like the experience is smaller than I was expecting. Not my finest moment, I'll admit, but now that we're here, let's do what we came to do, find the Elector. Allow me to propose a strategy, then. Kryl, Alice, and I will speak with the merchants. Wook Lamont, you, and Aaronville might try... Okay, so we're already doing the Scooby-Doo shit, because they want us to really get to know these guys. They're like, how can we get to know somebody? We split up, and we hear their backstory. Aaronville's going to talk about his dad and his mom. Wook Lamont is going to say papa a lot. Pray investigate any of the other establishments which catch your eye. Should we learn aught to use, let us relay it to the third promise. Alright. I don't know, I might have to put on a jacket. Or some pants. Maybe some pants. Thought you were a new face in town, here for the right of succession, I take it. Me, I don't care who sits the throne so long as they keep Toral peaceful. People tend not to be in the mood to relax and sip our excellent mezcal. Alright. I don't want your mezcal. I'm not a big fan of mezcal, though. Getting an extra MSQ quest while you're doing the MSQ. Electors, oh yes, I've heard all about the right of succession. They're looking to put a new ruler on the throne. Personally, I'm rooting for Zarul Jah. If the first promise wins, he'll look to expand our sphere of influence. So that's the warmonger guy. I don't know, I like them. I'm not going to say it, whatever. Moving on. Others have been coming around to my way of thinking, so I began crafting goods inspired by the resilient sun. Would you care to purchase something? Please just answer my question. Very well, you said you wanted to know about the Elector. I could help you, but I won't. I can tell you're no supporter of Zarul Jah. Sorry, I don't know about any Electors. You should take a moment to see our prized alpacas before you leave, though. Shut the fuck up. This person's trying to upsell me. I haven't even made an initial purchase. Alright. I guess, like, you can kind of, like, make the argument there was already, like, furries before Hrothgar, but it's not the same. You really have to watch yourself around these silver-tongued peddlers. I almost bought a bottle of mezcal and a stack of blankets. You know, that mezcal and those blankets, that'll help you get the throne. Alright, so he's going to be the head rancher. Okay, let's go. Shit. There you go. Penalty account. Oh no. Oh no. There's a lot of alpacas. Still, we know the head ledger could be here somewhere. I can't let fear deter me. Not to say that I'm scared. See, this is one thing that could happen. If we get stuck in a cutscene, I don't want to miss the cutscenes. Over some fucking bullshit 20-second guild test, I'll be fine. Is it you? Oh, Tobly. Oh, yes. He likes to mingle with the ranch hands and keep an eye on things. Can't tell you which one he is, though. You can't? Is that part of the contest? All I can say is that Tobly often mentions his favorite pungent subject? Subject. Okay. I didn't realize subjects could be pungent, but hey, that's cool. Is he like talking about like, you know, I'm not gonna even finish that. I'm not gonna be gross yet. We'll wait. We'll give it a little bit of time. He can also resist a profit. He can't resist a profitable trade, though. Who among us could? Am I right? Still, if you bring him a very good deal, he might let his identity slip. Easy enough. We just gotta give him a deal. Well, maybe one problem. I don't think my purse is deep enough to pay everyone we think might be Tobly. Let's ask some questions. Okay. Nice. All right. Let me guess. It's gonna pop this time too. So who do you think it is? I have my suspicions, but let's hear your pick. Oh shit, I was supposed to be I'm gonna say the boastful one. I wasn't paying attention. This might be a bad idea. I am not Tobly, not the head ledger, not the head rancher, just a humble ranch hand. Damn it, King, I trusted you. That coin could have bought me 300 gourmet tacos. It's alright. As long as I'm not losing money. Alright, oh, I was not paying attention, I was just talking. But we'll pay attention this time. So... Oh, they're gonna have me do it right now. Well, I didn't get a chance to actually read it, but they're just gonna have me do this. He seemed unconvincing to me, but if that's your choice, then that's who we have to talk to. Alright. Well, I didn't remember what he said, because I didn't read it, so... Yeah. Take that titty sum. Truth is, I'm not the ranch hand. I just like to come by and watch the alpacas. I knew I should have gone with my gut on this one. But now's not the time to mourn wasted coin. We need to regroup. I don't know. Is that actually the one? Or are we supposed to fail? On like, are none of them the actual person? Because that's also a thing sometimes. The worker's so intent on stable chores. I had my eye on that one too. Alright, let's see it. Maybe? Improve it. I propose a deal. A generous sum of coin for confirmation of your true identity. An offer I gladly accept. As you have correctly guessed. Okay, so yeah, that was the one. There you go. So he's the elector that we need. In a place featured in the Tuliolo saga, just as we thought, though it took more coin than I would have liked. It doesn't matter. It's not like anything matters to me. I mean, I don't care if she loses all of her money. I don't care if she wins. She found you out fair and square, Tobly. Alright.
Deducing the Dawnservant's elector was the first step of the feat. Too simple a task for this aspiring ruler, eh?
Right. Not hard at all.
Uh-oh. Just a warmonger. Is he at least nice to his sister? Or is he also a douche?
Zerolja.
I am told the head ledger, Tobli, is to be found here.
Oh, maybe he's just gonna rough him up a little bit.
You have to guess which one of us is Tobli. That's part of the test.
They're all terrified of him. The fuck?
You're Tobli.
Without even asking a single question. Very impressive indeed.
That's not impressive. He just intimidated the shit out of that little one. Like he looked at him so hard, and then like the one just like over there.
With that amusing prologue out of the way, we can proceed to the actual challenge. Per the Dawn Servant's instructions, I was free to devise any manner of feat. I considered the number of possibilities in the 10th column. But I think I have a good one. You must go forth and capture for me an alpaca.
While I've not had the best experiences with alpacas, aren't they generally docile creatures? That doesn't sound like much of a challenge.
Bring out the example! This is a special kind of alpaca. Would you please approach the animal, Third Promise?
Who? Me? Well, it should stay calm if I stay calm, right? That's what Erinville said. Ah! The little monster spat on me! Ah, oh, that stinks. I can't.
Alpacas are paradoxical creatures, being both extremely curious and extremely cowardly. Press your luck when they're frightened, and you'll get a face full of spit, as you've all just witnessed.
Does the spit do anything, or is she really just that useless?
Has an awful stench, their expectoration. The globs contain half-digested food, you see, making it an effective deterrent against perceived threats.
Wild valley breed like this one are especially timid and can therefore be quick to lash out. They're also especially hardy.
Indeed. We take the rugged wild alpacas and breed them with our gentle domesticated stock. This produces the strong but beatable pack animals prized by our traveling merchants.
Alright. It's just kind of crazy that this is like where we're at in the game.
I need to
After everything we've done, now we're
for
doing
you
this.
to make your point.
So, the task is to catch a wild alpaca.
That is correct. But be warned that it is a feat easier said than done. I suggest you prepare well before you enter the valley where the creatures dwell.
God damn it. No, I'm trying to...
And by you,
There it is.
I mean the claimants only. Allies are not permitted to assist with the catching. The alpacas will help me judge which of you is worthy of receiving a keystone.
Yeah, we're probably gonna skip that one too, just because... This cutscene's taking longer than usual. I was trying to get rid of this, but...
So I'm to chase down a fluffy...
Oh,
As I said,
right.
the Dawn servant granted me
that's
the
what
freedom to
does that.
decide
Okay.
my challenge.
Whatever, man.
And when you reach the end of the ride,
I don't know, is there anything that actually
I dare
happens if
say
your penalty
you will
count goes up?
understand why I chose what I chose.
Very well. This won't take long.
Wait! Didn't I warn you this was easier said than done? There are preparations to be made, factors to consider.
A beast is a beast.
I skipped this, so
All
it's kind of
used
sad to
to
witness this.
strength.
Yeah, I'm not a... You've saved the planet. Well, that's what I was just
So
saying. I'm like,
far,
this
this
is really weird that
experience
this is
has
kind of
done
where we're at right
absolutely
now in the game.
nothing
I knew it
to
was going to be
improve
like
my
this. That's why
opinion of alpacas.
I definitely took my time around getting here. That's why I wanted to make sure I thoroughly enjoyed Elden Ring. Had plenty of time to explore everything. You save the planet and you're fetching llamas. Pretty much.
But that doesn't mean I can't do this. Revolting spit aside, they're just another animal.
I don't know. It's like, it kind of like the lightheartedness so far. Again, I know it's the beginning of the game. Kind of makes you feel like we're actually doing...
Are you alright, Orclamart? We thought we heard you scream.
we're doing like a side quest. It's hard to believe
The
that this is
third
kind of like
promise
the
does
main,
not
but
scream. It was more of
they
a
turned the temperature down, and
okay.
I guess they're calling it a chill thing. Mind you, she's lived her whole life, and it's the first time she's seeing them. Got it. Okay.
Scream, in other words.
Interesting.
Did you find the Elector?
Oh, we certainly did.
Cool. All right. Had to go and wash that nasty stuff off my face. I think I got all of it. But would you mind taking a sniff from me just to make sure the stench has ruined my sense of smell? Really? Why? Okay, so it's doing this. Alright, whatever. This is the merchant that we need to go to. I'm actually, like, I knew there wasn't going to be a ton of voice-acted cutscenes. I do find it a little surprising that there's as few as there have been. I don't know, it seems like if there's gonna, like, maybe per MSQ there's only one actual, like, cutscene portion that's gonna be full voice acting. Unless it's like one of those special ones where it's like there's gonna be a series of cutscenes back to back to back. So she wants to bargain, she wants special taming saddles, okay. Basket of fine alpaca wool. There we go. You didn't like that. I got a message. Is this real? On Twitch? Oh, this is the Twitch thing. I have the stream pulled up, and I got a mount? Is that what that, that Pokur thing on the login screen was? Oh yeah, I saw these. I didn't know what this was. Ah, that's kind of cool for streaming. I'm gonna have to redeem these later. That's kind of cool. Ah, Is that why some people were watching me? I thought they liked me. You guys are all just using me. No, are there any other rewards after the mount, or is the mount the best thing you can get? Mescal. I like to nurse a cup at day's end while I inspect my finished work. This bodes well for us. Third promise, such mescal can be had only 5 pel in the 1,000 columns. Alright, that works. Just the mount. Got it. Hold on. Did you say third promise? Then my offer has changed. The saddle is going to cost you a jug of premium mescal, aged 3 years at least. I would just beat the living shit out of this fucker. That stuff is valued at 10,000 pel or more. Why have you doubled the price? Because I must support the man of ambition who will see my business prosper. Zaral Ja will go to war. Alright, lots of saddles. Okay. So they ride in on alpacas. When they're fighting, they're all like on those. I gotta be honest, it's not really that intimidating. I find chocobos to be a little bit more intimidating than a bunch of llamas with their fucking poisonous, or they're not even poisonous, it's just smelly spit. War alpacas. Those of our grandparents' generation remember the dark days when the clans were at war. Many of these Pelu pray for your victory, Wuklamat. The younger ones, though, to them, strife and bloodshed are as children's stories. They think themselves safe from these horrors and take peace with, the peace we now enjoy for granted. Still, others are unsatisfied with this quiet prosperity and crave the future the second promise envisions. They've become obsessed with innovations like the dirigibles that have made... Yeah. So, the dirigibles. Aren't you of the youngest generation? At least a year or two younger than me. I was raised in the old tales. I memorized the accounts of what it was like when the Yakhui ruled our village. That's why I offered to help. I want you to become Dawntrail to keep our nation from going back to the way it was. Well then, I guess I'd better make sure I win the contest. But the type of mescal the saddle maker wants is so very expensive. Weren't you expecting to need 10,000 pel from the outset? Nothing's changed. We just need to go on with it. It may not have a head for trade or the stomach for alpacas, but I won't give up with the piece of Tuliolo on the line. Alright. Cool. So now we're gonna go do this thing next. Oh my god. It's the guy with the mismatching hair. The Weaver. He went out of his way to say he agreed with my vision and he was here to buy wool. Cool. More fetch questy. It would be cool if there was like actual fights we could have. Or like some of the trials could be like actual dungeons. That would be... Can I have the basket? Here's this wool. Bolnak, I'm glad we found you. Are you interested in making a trade? Third promise, you wish to do business with me. Might I ask what this is all about? I'm glad they don't make me read that. Just bring them up to speed. I don't know what's up with the... I'm gonna have to mess with the light. I think it's on a different setting. Let's go with white light. There you go. That's a little bit better. Makes me look super pale, but better overall. I'm actually a little bit on the tanner side right now. I've been getting a lot of sun outside. But you wouldn't know that because this fucking white light, I don't know why white light has to be the best. What's wrong with brown light or black light? It's always about the white. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Allow me to invest in your efforts. Cool. Thank God we happened to run into this guy right when we were getting here. Humbly offer you this wool poncho, a small token, and I pray you contribute to your victory. Oh, cool. I love ponchos. That's very generous. I thank you, blah, blah, blah. I have every faith in you. Third promise. May fortune bless your future dealings. Yeah. Can't believe you. Oh, god damn it. Alright, well, that's probably something useful. Not true. The connections you build will, with people are vital, blah, blah, blah. I made a female Hrothgar with an old alt with a Fantasia, and they only get 4 hairstyles. Really? I don't know, man. Like, it really feels... I don't know. With kind of the way that the game is going, this might be our last expansion. It really might, just because I just feel like what I've seen in Endwalker from Shadowbringers, it feels like they've begun cutting stuff, and like giving up on things. I don't want it to be like that. But yeah, like I feel like I'm pretty reasonable. Like, I'll give it a shot. I'm like, all right, this will be like, you know, hopefully there's some good things about this. Not saying that there aren't going to be, because I haven't done it yet, but... Oh, this is new. Okay. Cool. The quality is dipped. Well, I'm kind of getting at that, and like, I don't feel great saying that. But yeah. Leveraging connections is a sound strategy, but we should also consider supply and demand. An individual in urgent need of a good poncho will offer more than a merchant simply looking to stock their shelves. That makes sense, but how do we... Okay, so now we have to find somebody to buy this? I don't know. I'm really trying to make my own, like review this as fairly as possible, because I just know you can't deny the amount of reviews and the things that I've seen. I think on when I was going through all that Steam stuff yesterday, Chalks, I was on the Final Fantasy XIV Steam page for a little bit, and I couldn't help but notice, I think the game at the time, I don't know if it is, it probably hasn't changed, I think it was like 63% positive, so it was definitely middle of the road, and I was like, okay, what the fuck could be so bad? And I like read like the first 3 reviews, all of them were like a red thumbs down, saying it's not good, and almost everyone was talking about Wook Lamont, so I'm like, fuck, is it really that bad? Or like people just like not being fair, you know? It's hard to tell, because people do like, I really see it, just like I see it with like, you know, the work that I do sometimes when somebody's mad, people are they exaggerate so much. Like they'll be like, hey, this is a minor inconvenience, to like, it'll go from that to like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen, you know? I get it all the time with like content creation. I don't even really do a ton of content creation, but there are some times that people will watch my blind playthroughs and they don't like what I do when I don't know what I'm doing, you know? Like, it's just weird. Like, people get like really upset about stuff. You'll have to wait and see. Same thing happened with Lise, and we never seen her go. Oh God. Well, it's probably better that way because her character was just not like the worst, but it's probably like one of my least favorite characters in the game. I feel like that's a good guy. Obviously, there's a lot of villains I don't like. Anyway. Who here needs a poncho? Well, somebody who's not wearing it. Wear above the waist, it hampers their movements. Okay, so not them. Find a potential sweaty. I don't think we're gonna go with that one. Will you buy it? Professional fighters like those Lance Guards would have little interest. Okay, so that's just if we want to go through it. So probably not that guy. Probably that guy. Let's see. No coat or cloak, but also no weapon. You're not a mercenary by trade, right? I was curious about your bold choice of dress, or lack thereof. It was no choice of mine, believe me. I was attacked by beasts on the way here and barely escaped with my scales intact. My coat was not so lucky. Boom! Wake up, honey. It's time for your 15th Aglia run of the day. I mean, it sounds like that's a really good way to squeeze out some levels, man. The only reason why I'm not the most excited about doing that, you were there. You know how many times I ended up running that to get just the tank set. Not even anything crazy. It's really has never been like, oh, I want to get every single piece. It got bad. And a lot of the times that I did run, I could only pick one piece of gear. Not as bad as the near raids. The near raids I think are... And I actually was doing the near raids. By the time I got to the near raids, they were already unlimited. And it was insane. So yeah, I actually have all the gear. And I don't have the fondest memories of that. I think I still have some pieces of gear that I need to get from the last one in that raid series. But yeah. I think I was going to put it off until they... lifted up the limitations. All 4 tanks done. Dark Knight, I got to level 100 last night. Congrats! What about this hatchet? I crafted it myself, and I will vouch for its quality. Blade looks sharp and half well made. I'd value it at 1 pel in the 1,000 columns. Okay. So it seems like we don't really have much of an input we can give. We already found our next buyer. Okay. Okay. Seems like there's not really anything we can do to like make a good, bad, excellent trade. It's just kind of all scripted, so I wish I didn't have to wait for new gear. Nothing. Yeah. I figured they probably won't do it until they need money. Which actually, according to Square's last numbers that we saw, they might release something soon. I'm still waiting for them to just be like, just fucking pull it and like just be like, you know what? Final Fantasy VII Remake, Rebirth, and then whatever the next one's gonna be. we're giving you the sets for all the main characters. Just have at it. And then I'm like, all right, take my fucking money. I don't have any self-respect anymore. I actually would have liked if they did some more stuff with 16, because I thought some of the other outfits from the characters in 16 would have been cool. Specifically from the heroine. Oh, right over here. Yeah, let's do this. Oh, I can't move. Alright. We better get one of these guys as a mount. You have to give it to us, right? It would be kind of cool if we do see a scene with these guys, like, geared up for battle. These little alpacas. Because, like, I get it. Like, you know, they spit or whatever. Like, you know, they're timid, so, like, they like, run really fast or something like that. It would just be... Oh, shit. I probably should be reading this. Yeah, so this is just, they're talking about the mountain. I could basically paraphrase, like, what they're doing, what they're saying. So what the little person is telling us is that there's a mountain up there, and there's this angry green guy that doesn't like how much the people down in this village sing. So he wants to ruin Christmas for them. And that's pretty much, in a roundabout way, what they're talking about. Also, the green guy, he has a dog that's pretty cool. But he's a cunt, so there's that. Cool. Without a single smelly incident, she says. Speaking of roads to travel, you were adopted by the Dawn Servant, weren't you? Third promise. That's a weird way to get to that. I was an orphan too, you see. Tobley took me in. He took in all the ranch hands, actually. Yes, and everyone works hard at their chores, grateful for the opportunity to repay the head ledger's generosity, yet here I am, the only one wanting to go off and be a merchant. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm telling you this. We need to keep trading things for your saddle if you're to prepare for the feat of gold. Alright. I wonder how many times we have to trade. Miplu herself over there. Okay, cool. So you're the one that wants the hatchet. Miplu. Alright. So I wonder if... So her brother didn't take any advice from, like, the Elector. And he's just gonna go... He's probably gonna just beat the shit out of the alpaca into, like... To, like, within an inch of its life and drag its mangled body over and be like, hey, I caught one. Here you go. I don't know why we're not doing that. Going through all this bullshit. Seasoned artisan, the razor edge of this exceptional tool will make light work of your crops. Cool. The quality is acceptable, I suppose. I offer you a large sack of mat leaves. So what are mate leaves? Uh-oh. He already has tools. Think of it this way. A generous deal here will put you in the third promise as good graces. Surely that's worthy of consideration. I do not wish to give offense, but I must tell you that I stand with the second. Oh, he's like, I'm not voting for you. Fuck you. How about this then? If we were willing to help you bring in your... Oh my god. Oh, now we gotta go do this. Okay. You can go ahead and add our labor to the bargain. Alright. Added value to tip the scales. How could I have forgotten one of the most basic rules of trading? Alright, so we all have to go do this. Man, this is fucking very fetch questy. And that next big thing for the game, but they're like, hey, we gotta wrap this up like by the end of like, you know, this patch, because the Warrior of Light is gonna have to go do this. I don't know. Yeah, I just feel like there's yeah. I'm gonna stop talking. We're just gonna play the game. We're not gonna sit here and theorycraft. I do not think they know how to compress stories. Clearly. I actually, like, real talk, I thought, like, having a story in the void was a fantastic... Like, I loved when we first got there. I thought it was a fantastic beginning of what could be the next saga. You know, what's going to lead us into it. You know, there's a whole thing with, like, Vritra and, like, Ajdaya, all that. Like, I feel like we could have really stretched that out. I mean, it's the fucking void. They made an entire game that was in the first, right? Like... Wouldn't it make sense to have, well, not an entire game, but an entire expansion? Here's what's going to happen. We're going to visit other shards in 9.0. I'm telling you, man, like, I'm not even trying to fucking, like, be dramatic. I'm getting, as my life continues on, I just get busier and busier. And with that, I want to play games that I actually like. If this doesn't really do it for me, this might be my last one, you know. But of course, I want it to work. I want to continue to play this game. I have now a vested interest. I have, you know, I don't want it to become one of those sunk cost situations where I'm like, oh, I'm just playing because I already played so much. I don't ever want it to be like that. They're tackling these expansions like GRR Martyrs books. The problem is that they do not have the same quality. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what worries me. Is there a reason why they went with a different writer for the story? Because I know it's not the same from the last two phenomenal expansions. Leaves a plot for each book and continues the plot, not the next book, but the book after. Yeah. Well, also with Game of Thrones, it can be a little bit difficult to follow sometimes, because there's so many characters in this. There's so many people that are constantly dying in Game of Thrones, and then there's people that are being introduced, and then he does this thing, like, because like the show didn't even like really show how many characters. Like, there's some like big characters that weren't introduced because there's just, you can only do so much, you know. But yeah, that's another thing. Like it kind of sporadic, but whatever, man. Would have followed a timely order? Stormblood liberating Dalmasca and confronting Garlemald. That would have been awesome. That would have been awesome. Do you understand how much I wanted a because Final Fantasy 12 I think is fucking great. If you really leaned in and you did an expansion around that, like, that would have been great. I mean, like, you could even have done something like, I personally, for me, I would have liked to see some more tactics-esque stuff. But I get it. That's not very popular. But let's go to another dimension and leave more threads open. Yeah, I don't know. Alright. Even Yoshi P said Garlemald was going to be its own expansion. It definitely could have. I mean, there's just things that they could have done. I think it would have been awesome to turn it into like a... You know how like Dragon Ball became Dragon Ball Z? And it went from Dragon Ball, like, you know, you go all over, like Goku, like he's doing all this shit, like on Earth, right? And then Toriyama's like, all right, he's basically, he's defeated like Piccolo, that they thought was the like the Demon King, right? They thought Piccolo was like the ultimate evil. Nah, Piccolo's a bitch. Toriyama's like, I don't know where else to go from here. Like, he's, you know, Goku's done stuff in like the afterlife, or like kind of the afterlife, and just like, I know, let's just open it up to space. Space is limitless, therefore there's limitless things that you can do. It's like, oh, you think Earth is crazy? Well, in this galaxy, this is Earth 2.0. It's gonna fucking knock you like right the fuck out, right? They wanted to finish the Light/Dark saga. Yeah, very clearly they wanted to wrap it up so that they can put us in South America, trading for mezcal. Also, I feel the Scions should have died in Ultima Thule and leave them there. That would have been interesting. If when we thought they actually died, they did die. They're very clearly not trying to do that, though, because I think the backlash, even though if it would have made an interesting story or a more realistic story, this particular fan base, they're too fucking soft for that shit. You know they're not gonna do that. I'm sorry, I'm not even really paying attention at this point. All I know is that we did the work, and now we're gonna trade the hatchet for some good shit. Now Reen and Zero locked in their shards. Well, that's another thing. Reen and Zero, actually two very, very likable characters that have their own things that they're working towards. Reen has the whole thing with Gaia, would like to follow up on that. Zero is, I guess, just, we're all just like assuming Golbez is good now, or at least like he's not gonna try and fuck things up. We just left Zero by herself to kind of handle that. I loved Zero. I actually really liked the Void in general. The Void was such a cool thing because from Realm Reborn, we've been talking about it and like going into detail. Like, you know, it's like there's void gates that are opening up, and like, you know, it seems like there's some crazy shit going on. But whatever. I'm just some guy that isn't paid to be a writer. So, planning to abandon it all and become a merchant, but then I needed your help. Okay. Yeah. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, she's wearing different colors than the rest of them. Like, she's gonna be like a mainish character for this area. You know the craziest thing too, and this is just one thing that I thought, in Shadowbringers, think about where we were at this part of the expansion. We are literally meeting up with Alice, who has been in the first for a while, and we're like, okay, we met the equivalent of this girl, right? who's talking about her reasoning. She becomes friends with Alice. They're fighting off the the invasion of like the whatever the light creatures are, like that the light wardens conjure or turn. And you have that one of the most like the craziest things happen in all of 14 when that angel from the trailer of Shadowbringers stabs her and turns her right in front of you in like one of the most gruesome fashions too for 14. It's not Dark Souls gruesome. I mean, Dark Souls gruesome, like in that Flame of Madness dungeon where the guy literally rips his head off because they replace his spine with the sword. Yeah, that's actually insane. But no, for 14, that was crazy, and the amount of emotion. Like, I remember what I was feeling like. I was like, I didn't even like really like that person, but I could empathize, and I could say, holy shit, this story is getting fucking weird, and I love it. Mablu, you just don't do it for me like that. So yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think like what we were doing, the equivalent, like at the same point, in Endwalker. Endwalker started off with what? I'm trying to. Was it us visiting Old Sharlayan? Or no, we went to Thavnair. And I think we went after the three sisters in the Tower of Zot. Which was crazy. Yeah, I don't know, man. Something about like ultra insane looming threats, like people started turning into the blasphemies like that. That was pretty fucking crazy, actually. I just said the Shadowbringers thing, but I'm completely forgetting how fucking weird it got. Oh yeah, and then there's also Meteon. The first time we meet Meteon, when we kind of go back in time, and she has like that fucking nervous breakdown, and her eyes go black. It's all crazy shit. Anyway. I know I'm talking over this when the dialogue is going, but she's just to kind of sum it up. So this girl feels guilty about wanting to become a merchant and leaving by the elector that has raised her. And Wuk Lamat is comparing it to her own internal struggles of living up to her two very successful, in different way, brothers. And that's essentially what we're getting at. I'm just ranting about the game right now, and I apologize. She's kind of taken our move a lot. I've noticed she's doing the whole I don't want to punch my mic, but the thing that the Warrior of Light always does when they're like, Thancred will be like, hey, do you want to, stick your neck out for all of Eorzea yet again? And then like we don't say anything. We're just like that, She's doing that a lot now. We don't seem very happy. Nice. One thing I will ask you, Chalks, because you've done WoW. I haven't. But one of the critiques that one of my friends who's actually played through the entire game, without spoiling me, said one frustration, and I'm just curious about your thoughts on it. One frustration is that this expansion kind of plays more like some of the story did in WoW, where you don't actually feel like your character is the main character. Like, you have the main character, right? Like, or whatever, your character is going through the story. That they kind of feel like Wuk Lamat sort of takes the spotlight. Do you second that opinion? Because I haven't played WoW, but from what he told me, this is kind of like the flow that it goes. In a lot of WoW where it's kind of just your character there just kind of reacting to what's unfolding in front of them. I hope it doesn't get like that, because I feel like that's one strong thing that 14 has always had. 14 has always really made you feel like your character, your role is like everything's around them. Dragonflight was like this. Dragonflight expansion from WoW. There's a lot of fetching in WoW, and your character is just a backdrop. So I hope it's not 100% like that, because it's kind of crazy. Like, and like I know like there's probably gonna be some criticism. They're like, not everything has to be all about you. But I'm like, if you're playing the game, I mean, you sure about that? So yeah, 93. Let's go. All right. So we've made the trade up to a total of 5K Pel worth of merchandise, plus what we already have. All right, so now we're gonna go to the distillery. Oh, we got some quests. Oh yeah. Can't win them all. Alright, so we're going to hit up the distillery. Alright, so there's monsters prowling around Agave. Alright. I take small sips, not wanting to be impolite, you understand, but still end up so addled as to agree. Oh. That's a tactic. I think things would be a lot better if, like, in business negotiations, everyone just got fucking just hammered ass drunk. That's the way to do it. Okay, cool. Look at all those tidbits I got. Alright. I miss flying. Is it up top? Yes, it is. Alright. So this is where the magic happens. I like that they have that roped off. That's a really effective way of keeping people out. Keep it brief if you would. I'm a busy man. It's so funny. These guys are so little. They're like little wee ones, but apparently like this is their full size. They're not children. It's convenient that they're not showing their faces, because otherwise I would have been like, that's just a kid. That's like a human child. He doesn't have any use for the leaves. What? But they're premium. Still, I'd hate to send you away empty-handed. Why don't we sit and chat a while over a cup of mezcal? Which of our cards do you want to play first? Let's talk about the monsters. Let's see if we can get him to be like, hey, I'll give it to you if you handle that. Oh. So that was incorrect. Okay. Well, how about you pick everything? I'm giving you my solutions. I don't fucking know what you want. Little shit. Something like Matt T or Mate T. Uh-oh. Alright. Alright, so we're not doing that yet. Wait, could it be that your rumored invitation to the palace is to discuss that very possibility? As a matter of fact, yes, I must admit. Alright. An introduction to a weaver. Okay, so we're flexing these connections. Let's go. So, okay, now we're gonna have to go kill some monsters, and then yes. Alright. Hopefully wrap up this one. The Way of the Whale, slow riding. I love that mount. But I hate when other people have it. And I need to speak to an NPC. Speaking of not a thing anymore. So I cleared my blacklist and then I started filling it up again because people are actually fucking terrible. Did they change the, I think they did change the animation for, That's so cool. I actually really like the animation now. I wanted to add phrases, but it only accepts one word. I also, engine probably. I also wanted it to not. I don't know why it can't be like 3 characters doesn't work. It has to be 4 or more, because there's also, you know, throwing out. And if you want it to be successful, you want to be a good conductor, you'll take that into account. If you don't want to be a good conductor, well then, fuck you. Alright, so we killed everything. Your monster problem has been resolved. Here are the mate leaves. This guy over here is like, I got fucking cheated. Is this, like, is something gonna happen with this guy in the saddle? He's gonna be like, sorry, this is what it is now. Alright. This guy. He's already basically told us that he doesn't want to support us. Alright. Ice blue? Really? You're giving these shit dies? What are you doing? Guess I'll take this. Whatever. She said, "Can you imagine if we dropped it?" Alright. I'm gonna name the alpaca Kill Bastard. Get your tools ready, Saddler. We've brought your precious mescal. You actually got your hands on a jug, but you had nothing. A few measly clumps of wool. We had the power of friendship. It's a priceless gift. Wow, he really doesn't want to do business with us. I'd sooner aid no claimant, but Zaral Ja, I cannot go against the guiding principles of the Pelu Pelu. Okay. Because, like, you know what was going to happen next? If he still kind of was holding out on us, like, we would just cut off his legs one by one until he gave us what we wanted. And if he didn't, we'd just kill him and then we'd just take it. That's why I'm not a hero. That's why I will never be a hero in this game. Like, okay, you could still be a hero and not like a bitch. You could be like Batman. Like, as soon as that kid gave any opposition, Batman's punching him in the nose repeatedly until he gives you what, you know. Because Batman knows when it's for the greater good. Batman doesn't fuck around. Whenever, yeah, like, I think the world would be a much better place if everyone was like Batman. Just think about it that way. Alright, so we have the saddle. Alright. It would be kind of cool if we get this for our chocobo. We get like something tangible out of it. The quest. Like, you don't see anybody. Because that was kind of dickish. Like, I know it was specific to like certain streamers that people didn't like, but when they would start playing this game, people would just spam, like, you know, annoying mounts and stuff and like overlay over the NPC, so it's hard to see. I heard dick. Do you have a dick in your ear? If you're hearing dick, I mean... Oh, you got ads? Aw, you didn't get to hear my retort. That's unfortunate. Thanks for the ads, though. Thanks for watching those. You guys should tell me what you see when you see the ads. Is it anything fun? Before you rush off to catch an alpaca, let me teach you how to saddle one. Okay. Let's do it. God, it's getting cold in here. Come on. How are you going to be the leader if, like, you can't even do this? I'm going to say. it's kind of clear what they're trying to do with her. It's almost like this is just my prediction, but what her father is doing, he's laying out these things that are gonna like basically train or teach her indirectly on how to be a better leader and not be such a do nothing bitch. And that's I think that's a great message, you know. All right, cool. What is up? We are just enjoying this. I like your optimism. We're just enjoying this phenomenal story so far. No, I don't really know what it's going to be like. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of rescuing, a lot of derpiness. If we're following, like, you know, the typical like series of events, like, or plot in a story, it starts off kind of like, you know, relatively like, you know, low on like the, like, you know, the difficulty or like whatever challenge they're facing. It starts off low, things get, you know, better. You get to a point where like you get like the main character gets a little bit of confidence, and then something happens that shatters that confidence, and then they kind of have to work back, but they come off stronger in the end. And then that's kind of like, that's like the typical way just all forms of media kind of handle storytelling. And generically, then I understand there's going to be plenty of things that contradict that, but typically that's how you do these sort of things. So I'm wondering if it's going to follow that, or if it's going to be like Game of Thrones. She's going to step right outside this village, trip over a log, and fall just right on her head and snap her neck. You know, like, it could be like that. In Game of Thrones, no one's safe, ever. Uh-oh. He's already back, isn't he? What the fuck? He caught a shiny? Have a good night, Saintly. He got a shiny. I got Gunbreaker to 100. Congratulations. I think I'm at 93 on Warrior. I've heard of tales of such a beast. They say the golden alpaca lives a solitary existence deep in the valley, where it shuns the company of both man and its own kind. How did he manage to snare a prize like that? A beast knows its betters. Faced with overwhelming strength, it will yield rather than risk death. An apt illustration of how greatly the power of the first promise exceeds yours, Wuklamat. Alright, this guy over here is just talking shit. Like, bro, like, you look like shit. I will fucking kill you. It's kind of funny how perfect this dude is so far. An everlasting desire for peace can only be forged in the fires of war. To unite as one, the people must be taught. They must suffer the horror and the hopelessness firsthand. Exhaustion from prolonged conflict, the wages of war's merciless nature. These are what moved the clans to join the founding of Tuliolal all these years ago. I don't know, man. This is kind of like that irrational shit that I'm like, doesn't really make sense. Look at this fucking drunk over here. Considering the younger generation of this village, since birth they have basked in unbroken harmony, and behold, they regard war not as tragedy but as opportunity. Thus does the resilient son seek to provide education. He offers much needed lessons in the realities of conquest and renewed appreciation for peacetime. 'Tis true that war's misery breeds a longing for peace, but I have seen with my own eyes what becomes of an empire forged through the violence you propose, the rebellions it spawned, and the ruins it left behind. Yeah, like, this isn't This isn't difficult stuff. Like, his motivations are that of like a fucking, like, a child that like lacks like basic critical thinking. But whatever, hey, fuck this guy. The Carlian Empire was a congregation of simpletons. Oh, really? The oppressed fought back against their oppressors, and well, they should, as well they should. Men are not beasts, only a fool would seek to rule over all with the threat of force alone. This is why Golulja Jaja did not elevate the Mamulja, why he treated all clans with equal respect. However, the first promise has his gaze fixed upon more distant horizons. He would unite not only Tuliolal, but the star in its entirety. I like how these guys that played legitimately no part in everything that's occurred thus far within the game, like, have the audacity, like, to actually talk any shit right now. I need not explain myself to you. Alright. Well done indeed. The first promise has completed the feat of gold with an appropriately golden flourish. May I present to you your much-deserved keystone? He's already got his gym badge. That's not fair. He's always been like that, never sharing his innermost thoughts with me or even Koana. It's like we're not even family. All right. Well, I think irrational bad guys are the best. All right, let's go. I will say, that guy kind of beasted the whole challenge. Wouldn't that be nuts? We just like roll up with like a bunch of them, but they're all dead. Oh, man. So I have to cheer you on. So I don't have to type it in. Look at that.
Good luck there, Promise!
Oh my god.
Thanks. Truth be told, still not sure about alpacas. I'd rather not go near one if I can help it.
So, Chalks, you said that the voice actor,
If I'm to rule this nation, then I'll need to learn
they were
how
trying
to
to
live with
channel like their inner
Dural is their home, too.
Sophia Longoria, I think that's her name. Is she Latina? Just curious. I don't know anything about her. Was she like, or was she just kind of like playing a character? No, that's the vibe I get. Oh, got it. Okay. I was wondering if that was like actually like one of the people she used as her like for her like inspo, and she like when she was asked, that's what she was going for. Google Sofia Vergara Modern Family. Yeah. Sophia was funny on that show. Oh yeah, she's pretty cool. I do like that.
So shall we head
I do
back
like
to the
her.
ranch, or
I've heard Muklamat isn't. Yeah. The thing is, I will say,
Here.
I don't 100% put everything on the voice actor if it truly is the writing is kind of more of the problem, you know?
Muklamat is alone in this. The least we can do is stand watch.
Because I
and
actually
wait
used to
our
find
turn.
Minfilia's voice very, very annoying. And then also Horshaphant's brother, the little one, I found his voice to be really annoying. And almost any Lalafell that we come across in the game. I typically find their voices more on the annoying side than not. So this game, there's a lot to be hated on.
It may be a while yet. Help me pitch the tent.
Oh wow, look at him just coming out and flirting with us right out of the gate. We're not even past like the first keystone. He's already wants us to help him pitch a tent. There's a big streamer called Pirate Software, and he's going through Stormblood. Pirate Software. And his audience got shocked when they heard Kryl. Oh, really? Like shocked as in like they didn't like her voice? Actually, like I said, I've spoken about this before. I like Kryl more than a lot
Trust
of the
a
Lalafels.
gleaner to come
It was
prepared
just
for
that
anything.
voice doesn't match the little girl. Absolutely. Well, that's exactly what I was saying. I feel like she's not like the typical like kind of like some of the characters that you meet. They just have really, really annoying voices. And then I think with Lalafell, I think they do kind of try to play that whole like, you know, that goofy little like not like full-blown baby, but like sort of toddlerish stereotype. Kryl is so funny as a Pictomancer when you choose her as a trust. What does she do? Like, well, actually, I don't even know what Pictomancer even looks like.
Gleaner.
Someone whose job it is to travel the world and procure uncommon things for their employers.
She's the only one that plays
Elendil
correctly.
specializes in finding animals, I believe.
Of like the other Scions, or do you mean the only Pictomancer that plays Pictomancer correctly?
But
Elise
aren't
gets
you
hit.
Shidona from Shaktura?
You're Stola too? Oh, that's
Why
wonderful.
did you cross the salt?
When I was much younger, the thought of leaving Tural never even occurred to me. But then, some years ago, my mentor tasked me with a difficult hunt. Something I could never find, she said, so long as I clung to the familiar. She suggested that I leave home, leave Tural, and join the Gleaners of Sharlian. As one of their number, I could experience the world, immerse myself in myriad cultures and customs, see the many faces of nature. And once I had learned what is truly important, I would find that which I seek.
Like I'm already kind of noticing. I know I keep pausing, but this is just it is what it is. I'm already noticing. So like, she's kind of like the more clumsy, incompetent comic relief type character, and he's like the very, very like analytical. He's like the more like sort of like intelligent one that like looks at like, you know, he'll break down the steps necessary to get to whatever their goal is, you know. And I think they're probably doing this on purpose to have like a pretty big contrast. She's more of a goofball and he's like more with it. She's the useless comic trope in the anime. Yeah, so that's pretty much kind of like comic relief all the way. Yeah. And he's kind of more of like a leader. And I guarantee I'm already getting the vibes that they're going to go ahead and these two are going to like, you know, probably rub off on each other a little bit to kind of like, you know, make him a little bit more personable. Maybe not have so much of a wall up. And he's hopefully going to help her not be such a shithead, you know? Now until you reach a certain part, I cannot comment much on why. Got it. Oh, God.
My younger self took those words to heart. And off I went to become a gleaner.
Her words alone moved you to leave behind everything you'd ever known? You must have great respect for your mentor.
As it happens, gleaner work was much to my liking. And I all but forgot why I had pursued it in the first place. Yet, events conspired to put me back on the trail I'd abandoned.
Wait, are you saying you were tasked with finding the City of Gold?
I was. And though my hunt is now entangled with the right of succession, I mean to see it through.
Well then,
I wonder,
understand
does he have any sort of
completely.
combat abilities?
We all
Because
have our
the
reasons
gleaners
for
are
seeking
expected
Golden
sometimes
City.
to like get like beasts and stuff too. So I would imagine they have at least some sort of aptitude in some form of combat. I'm not expecting them to be like fucking martial geniuses.
Which is all the more reason
At the very
for us
least,
to
like
work
for how much they
together.
have to travel and what they have to do, they'd have to at least be like fit, right?
Just so.
What I want to see is all of a sudden where he's like basically he's gonna just pull it out of his backpack. It's gonna be like a foldable scythe, and then he reveals himself as like he's actually a reaper. Maybe he will end up being the Beastmaster trainer. That could be. That makes more sense than what I said.
She should have been back
I kind
by
of pulled
now.
that out of my ass.
What if something's happened to her? We
Next
need
time
to
I
tell
pull something
Toby
out of my
and
ass, I'll
arrange
at
a
least
search
stand up so you
party.
guys know to expect it. He kind of reminds
Wait.
me of the Fantastic
Do
Beasts
you hear
Wizard.
that?
I actually never saw those movies. That pulls creatures from his backpack. Got it. Weirdly enough, my wife is like obsessed with Harry Potter because she's not gonna finish that. But she's never actually gotten to those movies. I'm not super crazy about them. Is it any and all travel that makes her woozy?
You're utterly spent. And small wonder.
Oh. I was gonna say it's kind of like Natsu from Fairy Tail. Who there's this whole thing in that manga anime where the main character Natsu, any form of travel whatsoever, he gets like nauseous and becomes basically useless. So like horse and buggy, cars, boats, everything. Which is like a weird thing because he's
Well
actually
done,
like a badass.
Third Promise.
But that's like his
The ranch
weakness.
isn't going anywhere. Take a rest in the tent.
I think I will. Thank you all for believing in me.
Alright, so she did what she was supposed to. Do we really have the time to be letting her take it easy? We just like saw her brother just like beast get like the rarest alpaca ever. Did it without a saddle. Didn't even have to like ride it. It just like walked behind him. Alright. So I'm guessing this next one is gonna wrap up this series. Or this little leg. And then we'll probably call it there. Just because it is almost midnight my time, and I try to go no later than midnight, just with all the stuff I have to do. So busy, guys. Just got all this stuff. Shiny. Alright, I'm gonna log off as well. Have a good night. Yeah, you as well. I don't know if I'm gonna stream tomorrow, but I'll be definitely doing it, you know, this week. So I'll see you when I see you. Have a good night. That tea really is magical. I feel better already. I see you become more comfortable around our fuzzy friends. Watching this one taught me a lot about alpacas, what grasses and fruits they eat, what sounds they react to, their adorable little quirks. Guess I've grown fond of them. There you go. Welcome back, Third Promise. Accomplished the feat of gold, have you? There's no mistaking a valley alpaca. I commend you on your success. Well done. Although I couldn't find a shiny one like Zaralja did. I'd be surprised if you had. Golden alpacas are born but once every few decades. They are elusive, solitary creatures that are rarely seen, much less captured, thanks to their innate physical and magical gifts. Only a single person is known to have caught one before, that being Galul Jaja himself. Papa! It was before the founding of Tuliolal, in a time when the mountain giants, the Yak-Hu, held our people in thrall. Compelled by their overlords, our forebears would ride their alpaca mounts to the highlands to deliver goods of food and other tributes. Those were wretched days, to hear grandfather tell it. Then along came young Galul Jaja, yet unburdened by the mantle of Dawntrail. Our people were amazed by his imposing two-headed figure, equal to the Yakui in stature, and puzzled by his entourage of mismatched companions. We trembled in fear, believing a new conqueror had come. Yet Galul Jaja showed no such inclinations. He sat and spoke with us, sipping from cups of mate tea we offered. All right. Oh, that's what the other head looks like. Okay. He turned in a praising eye, blah blah blah. Okay. When does he catch it? I've heard the bond Papa forged with Pelu Pelu spoken of in that way before. The saga is not so detailed. Then you may not know the Galul Jaja sought a sure-footed guide for his trek up into the highlands. Thus did he capture a golden alpaca. All right. Okay, so she didn't do it as fast or get something as cool, but she did make a lot of friends along the way. So sometimes having friends in low places is better. Oh God. Six more gym leaders. All right. She wants to become a merchant. Stand up to your daddy. You have my blessing. Alright, cool. Go peddle your wares. I suggest you talk to Yakui. Cool. Can't wait to go see the giants. Do you recognize it? Yes, pieces like that. It first became fashionable in Dawntrail around 20 years ago. Since then, it's become common to wear one as a charm for safe travel. Let's head back to Chuliyola and get ready to search for the next selector. Alright. Hey, what's up, Charlie? How's it going? I've grown to love Wuklamot. Everyone she meets will come to love her too, and that's why she'll win the throne. Yeah, I don't know about that. We'll see. Well, of course you know she's gonna win. Nice. Alright. Oh shit, it's snowing. Alright, so we are going to... Well, what do you have to say? I think this is it for this section. Alright, yeah, so we gotta go back. Good. I just finishing up. I kind of had like a late start to today. I had some computer problems. Had some power issues, and all my stuff is kind of... I have to look into it. We lost power, and like things haven't been like quite right. So yeah. Other than that, pretty good though.